A member of Canada's 4x100 meter relay team and Kelowna's Jerome Blake ran an incredible second leg of his race to help Canada win gold at the World Championships in Oregon on July 23rd. Blake says his quartet has a special bond, and they turned silver in Tokyo into gold at Worlds. You dreamed of competing for Canada when you heard Donovan Bailey talk about Atlanta in 1996, many years ago. No Canadian team has won gold in this event at Worlds since Bailey's team. Does this moment feel surreal for you?
It actually feels kind of special, because it's one of those things where, we dreamed about it as a team together, as a quartet, that this is what we wanted to do. That's what we set out to do in Tokyo, but it just didn't happen there because when it comes to coaches, sometimes they don't like to listen to what the athletes say. We have two different cues that we use, basically. One is, you can serve and go through and make it to the finals and can serve again and, get the baton around the track with foot speed. So this trip, we said, man, might as well go for broke. Going for broke really means you push it back. In Japan, at the Olympics, we use 27 steps. And this trip, I used 31.
Now, speaking of Donovan Bailey, his analysis of your race, I'm just going to read it word for word here. When the Americans are pressured, they panic. We know this. All Canada really had to do was have smooth passes. Kind of what you were saying, but what do you guys say to each other ahead of the race? Because, the Americans not short on confidence.
For us, we're all friends and we know a lot about each other. So it's one of those things where, we have different cues that we use with each other. Aaron's a starter, so whenever I do my excels, I come back and I walk back because he's going to do a long excel. I know that. So I'll meet him at 50 and I'll say, yo, good luck. I'll be over here waiting for you. And he's like, yeah, don't wait too long. And I'll laugh and walk back. And then Brendan, the same thing. So everybody called me Moose. So I was telling him, I was like, hey, I'm going to be stomping, and he starts laughing. So it's kind of those, we try to just, bring each other up whenever we're out there. So, for us, we're out there very, very confident in our own rights. And, with all the Canadian support that we had there, you just, you look around, you see there's a lot of American fans, of course, but we weren't short in Canadian fans, that's for sure. So, we saw all of them. It's we're like, okay, it's go time.
Well, it sounds like you guys have such good chemistry. There was some uncertainty surrounding your team as Andre DeGrasse was recovering from COVID-19. Was there any point you guys were worried that you might not be able to go for broke with your core four?
No, we're never scared at all. Never worried, nothing, because it wasn't so recovering from COVID, Drake couldn't run. It was more or less like he wasn't fit enough to run so many rounds of the 200 and the 100. So it's one of those things where it's two short runs and they're both flying 90s. So it's more or less it's kind of like a workout.
Blake and his relay team pulled out of the Commonwealth Games because of a short turnaround time and heat wave in the UK. Now, Blake says he's preparing for the second half of his season at the end of August. For City News, I'm Sportsnet 650's Lindsay Horsting.